Hello, welcome to my video. Thanks for clicking on it. I appreciate that. If you like my content, please subscribe. That helps my channel. So let's get started. Today's DevOps SRE interview question is, imagine if you have 200 Kubernetes services in your clusters, Kubernetes clusters. How do you secure them? If you don't want the answers to be given right away, please pause the video and I will start my answer now. So this is a very open-ended question. Even though the interviewer is mentioning services and Kubernetes, what he or she is looking for really is your idea of what it means to secure anything, really, because the answers that you're going to hear in a minute, it applies to many different situations when it comes to security, right? So the reason I put 200 in there because I didn't want it to be a manual thing, right? It has to be mostly automated because you have so many to secure, right? So first of all, the ideas. What do you have to do? So first of all, in Kubernetes, there's this thing called network policy. So traffic, you were controlling traffic essentially as internal firewall, right? You were controlling traffic from different services that can be automated in the YAML files. So for example, let's say you have a service for database. You only want certain other services to get to it. So you can define the policy so that nobody else can actually even get to the port that's available, right? So as that's at a network level. So once you've secured the network layer, that way nobody who doesn't need access to a particular service can't even get there. That the road is blocked, right? Once you have that, now inside the service, you also want to install an SLS or SSL or TSL certificate because you don't want the traffic to be insecure, right? It can't be clear text because anybody who's snooping in could potentially read what's going back and forth, which is even more important if it's a database, like if we have personally identifiable data in the databases, right? So the data has to be encrypted through SSL and TSL, right? So now, once you have that, then who gets to access the services? To do that, you also don't want to have manually put John Doe gets this, and Kumar gets this, and Johnny gets this, and whatnot. You don't want any of those, right? So what you want is you want to define several roles. A role that has access to a particular set of services. Then in that role, you assign a service account. Service account are basically accounts that are not human, meaning a program can programmatically access the services. So one service can access the other services as long as that service account has been given access to that end service in that role. So those are your layers of security. Now, once you've done all of that, one thing the interviewer may not be looking for, but it's a bonus thing, is once you have that, you need to have enough logging and instrumentation in the services application layer. The developer who's actually writing the code for that should be logging, should be instrumenting the metrics and the logs for the service so that you can actually audit automatically who actually is getting access. So you can't just rely and assume that all the security layers you put in is actually working. You also need, and this is also important for different compliance purposes like SOC 2 and HIPAA and all that, you want to know at the end of the day who actually got access, and you should be looking for access that is not, I forgot to actually put the slide up. So who's actually getting access at the end of the day, so you can audit them and make sure that nobody somehow got through, right? So that can always happen. So again, the question is, how do you secure many Kubernetes services? And the answers are, one, you need certificate, you need network policy, you also need role-based access control, and you also need service accounts. And after that, you also need logging and instrumentation of who's getting access. Hope you found this video useful, and I will see you in the next one.